Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today I have him. I have the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I am so freaking excited to have this figure in my collection. You guys have no idea. This is essentially my favorite Spider-Man. This is the Spider-Man I grew up with. This is the Spider-Man that made me a Spider-Man fan. And I'm just so incredibly happy and honored to have this in my collection. I was scared. I was really, really scared that these were going to be hard to get my hands on, and they weren't. They were actually pretty easy to find, and I really, really appreciated that. So, I don't really want to spend too much time just babbling on this one. I just really want to get into it and open up this figure and see if it's worth the wait, I suppose. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the front of the package, you do have this nice retro style packaging. The nice window here shows you the figure, of course, everything right there. The nice artwork on the side. Of course, it seems like no matter what I do, I cannot manage to fit this style of packaging in the frame fully. But that is all the characters along the side right there. Spider-Man, No Way Home along the top. On the back of the box, you have some nice artwork, all three Spider-Man. Again, for some reason, I mentioned this on the Tom Holland Spider-Man figure. For some reason, the Amazing Spider-Man is a different back. I guess I can go ahead and pop this in here just to show you. I also have the Amazing Spider-Man box. For some reason, it's just different. I don't know why they didn't have one of Tobey's movie covers right there. I don't know why. This is the same as Tom's. I don't know why Tobey's is different. So, but that is the back of the box. Now we're back to the front of the box. So we can just get into it. Let's get into it and talk about this figure. Okay, so this is pretty much all you get. Like I said with the other figure, you don't get too much with this character. Unfortunately, I don't know why they have to limit us on accessories with these guys. I think it's completely, I don't want to say asinine, but it's not the coolest thing in the world. I'd really appreciate it if we, got accessories. That would be pretty neat, pretty neato burrito. But I guess what we do get some pretty cool things. So starting off with this head sculpt here of Tobey Maguire. For some reason on the camera it doesn't look that great, but in person this looks absolutely stunning. It looks exactly like a toy version of Tobey Maguire. It looks really, really nice. Nice head sculpt, nice hair, the facial features, all of it just looks really, really nice. On camera, like I said, it looks a little wonky, but in person, trust me, it looks pretty good. We have two sets of web thwip hands. Of course, both are textured nice. They look fairly decent. I like the details. It looks like Tobey Maguire's hands when they web thwip, I guess. But the unfortunate thing is the other sets of hands, they're mismatched. They're not matching hands, which I think is just annoying. Like, why do that? Why do that at all? We have one fist hand, which looks just as good as the web foot pants, and then this more of like a wall crawling, like holding on to the wall type of hand. It looks good, but like, why couldn't we get matching sets for these? It really limits what you can do with this figure, and I hate that they do that. But beyond that, we do have this nice looking head sculpt, of course. I say nice, and I mean it. It's nice. It's just, it's not the best. Like, I feel like they could have done better. The paintwork is a little messy, obviously. I'm not going to fault them on that. But, I don't know. Does it look weird to you guys? It looks a little wonk to me. Like, the eyes look maybe, I don't know, maybe a tad small. The webbing looks a little weird. It looks like wide. It looks like a wide face. I remember his head being a little bit more oval shaped, I guess. I don't know. There's aspects of this head sculpt that look a little wonky. I saw on I believe Instagram somebody had a custom head sculpt. I don't know if that one looked that much better. I'm just like, when I imagine this costume, it just doesn't feel like Tobey Maguire is the guy in this costume. It feels like somebody else, and I don't really know how to explain it other than that. But beyond that, this is a $20 figure, so I can't gripe too much about like the paintwork. It looks good enough. Obviously, it could be better, but I think it looks good enough. All the little details, like the texture work on the actual suit, that all looks really really nice. The legs kind of look detailed in the way that the suit was. All of this looks fine. I can't complain there. But then he looks a little frumpy to me, like his legs specifically. Maybe they're too thick. They might be, I want to say, oh yeah, no, they're not. I was going to say that these maybe share legs, but they clearly don't. But for some reason, these legs look weird. They look frumpy. They look thick, I guess. The proportions seem weird, right? Am I wrong? Like I don't know what about this looks so wrong. I think most of it has to do with this area down here. The legs from this point down look fine. The torso from this point up looks fine. It's just here. I think, I don't know, maybe he's got that childbearing hips type of thing going on for him. I don't know. But beyond that, I think this is a fairly decent figure. It's not incredible. It doesn't blow me away like I wanted it to. Being such a big fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, being such a big fan of those movies in particular, I just don't see that character here. So that's my only real gripe with this. Beyond that, I think as a figure, obviously, it's cool. It's fun. I'm glad to have it. I can't wait for better versions of it. And based on the rumors, Tobey Maguire is gonna be with us for a lot longer in the MCU, so we may or may not see a couple more attempts at this figure down the line. So super happy with that. I guess we can go ahead and go over articulation, starting with the head sculpt, which is fine going up, fine going down, wiggle side to side, rotates all the way around, arms come up to about right there. That's actually wonderful. Rotates all the way around like so. If I bring it back up, the butterfly joints go back. Really not much at all. And forward, again, not much. I already mentioned in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man figure, I saw the modification where you plop these out. And basically what it is, it's like a little nub, and then a little nub on top of that nub, and that's what plugs these arms into their socket. And essentially, if you cut the second nub off just completely, that allows the arm to move a lot more in the butterfly joint area. Do I want to do that? I don't know. It might make the figure a little bit better. I haven't heard, like, does it make it more loose? Does it make it pop out a lot? I don't know. I'd like to see, but essentially that second nub acts as a stopper when it meets like the walls of the torso, and that prevents the butterfly joints from really being as good as maybe other figures. I'm scared to do something like that, especially since for now I only have one of these and I don't want to break it and then be out of luck until the other ones show up. But it does look pretty tempting. It adds a lot to the articulation, like a lot. Like you're going from this to essentially it comes up to like here. Like that's the added range. Like that's significant. So it really adds a lot. So like this, it would actually go maybe across like that. Like I don't know. I've thought about it, so maybe that'll be like a little shorts I film. I don't know. I don't really use the shorts all that often, but I could potentially. Arms come up to about right there. The double jointed pinless elbows, of course, come up to about right there. Wrist goes down, wrist goes up, wrist goes all the way around like so. The ab articulation, we do have the two fun, unique sets of ab articulation. We have the diaphragm cut, which allows you to wiggle side to side, back a little bit, forward a little bit, of course, not too much there. It only gives you just a little bit extra, which I do appreciate. Going back, though, it does reveal the insides, which not the biggest fan of that, but you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm noticing a lot of bleed through on this figure compared to the other ones. Like there's one right there. On this arm, there's some silver paint right there. Just I know this paint is a lot more complicated, but it looks a little too wonky for me. I think they could have done a nicer job, I think. But with that ab articulation, you add in the lower cut, so going backwards, he goes back way far, like super far. Then going forwards, he goes really deep, and then you add the legs into it, which are those drop down style hips. He goes super far. I think he goes even further than that if I go a little bit more. I mean, that is spectacular. That does mean, of course, the kicks are super high. Of course, they actually goes up to about right there, which is really, really high. I can't do that. He does the splits like so. Like I mentioned, the drop down hips. These are a little bit better than Andrew's. Not as good as Tom's, but Tom's is a lot more stiff and a lot more fragile. So this is about where I'd want it to be, looking pretty good. Swivel at the thigh, of course, rotates all the way around like so. Double jointed pinless knees comes up to about right there, kicking his own ass. No swivel down here at the boots. Ankle goes down, ankle goes up, and ankle swivels side to side. And that is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like I said, a little disappointed in this guy, a little frustrated at the overall quality of this, all three of them. Well, that's not true. I love Tom's figure. I think that figure is beautiful. Just, it's fragile. I love Andrew's figure. I think that figure is beautiful. It just doesn't come with anything. And I love this figure. It's just, it looks weird. It looks wrong. It looks wonky, I think, right? So let me know what you guys think of him down in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe, all the things YouTubers ask you to do. Just do it for me as well, and I will be back with another video, hopefully very, very soon. Bye.